Imagine dangling 100 feet in the air on a narrow, slippery branch with absolutely no safety harness, surrounded by thousands of giant wild honeybees. One slip means a dangerous fall. One wrong move triggers a defensive swarm. Today, we are deep in the forests of Vietnam to harvest wild honey using ancient, traditional methods. It's a test of nerve, patience, and absolute focus. Let's find out if we can get back down safely. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we are deep in the heart of the central highlands of Vietnam, specifically in the dense jungles of Dak Lak province. If you look up through the thick canopy of leaves, you can barely make out our target for today. It's a massive wild beehive, hanging high up on a branch of an ancient forest giant. In this region, these towering trees can reach well over 100 feet tall. Up there, in the gusty winds, lives the giant Asian honeybee, known scientifically as Apis dorsata. These aren't the gentle honeybees you might find in a managed wooden hive in a backyard in North America. These are wild, aggressive, and highly defensive insects. One wrong move, and you can trigger a swarm of thousands of angry bees. But before we can even think about the bees, we have to face the first and most dangerous challenge, the climb. To get up there, we rely on a traditional climbing system. Over the years, hunters have driven steel pegs directly into the trunk of the tree to act as a makeshift ladder. It looks simple from the ground, but once you start climbing, you realize how unforgiving it is. There are no safety ropes, no harnesses, and no helmets. It's just you, your physical strength, and your grip on the bark. Every step requires absolute concentration. One slip, and there's no safety net to catch you. As I begin the ascent, the forest floor quickly fades away beneath my feet. The humidity in the Vietnamese jungle is intense, making the bark slippery and my hands sweaty. You have to constantly wipe your palms and ensure your feet are planted securely on each steel peg. I'm carrying some essential gear with me: a large, sharp machete, plastic bags to pack the honey, and my backpack. But most importantly, I have a traditional smoke bundle. This bundle is made from dried leaves and green foliage wrapped tightly together. When lit, it doesn't produce an open flame, but rather a thick, cool smoke. This smoke is our only real defense. It doesn't harm the bees. Instead, it masks their alarm pheromones and gently coaxes them to move away from the comb, allowing us to work without causing a frenzy. Using my machete, I carefully chop away the surrounding foliage. Every strike must be controlled. If I shake the main branch too hard, it could agitate the colony prematurely. Now that the branch is somewhat cleared, it's time to light the smoke bundle. Using a lighter, I get the end of the foliage glowing. The thick white smoke starts to billow out, carrying a rich, earthy scent. I wave it gently toward the hive. Almost immediately, you can see the behavior of the bees change. They start to move, parting like a curtain to reveal the pristine, white wax of the honeycomb underneath. We are finally ready for the harvest. A wild honeycomb is divided into different sections. The top part closest to the branch is the honey cap. This is where the pure, golden honey is stored. The lower part contains the pollen and the brood, the larvae. My goal is to slice only the top honey cap. I pull out my harvesting knife. The blade is incredibly sharp, which is necessary to slice through the tough, fibrous comb smoothly without tearing it. I make the first cut, slicing horizontally right beneath the branch. As the blade sinks into the wax, a stream of thick, amber liquid begins to ooze out, catching the sunlight. It is incredibly rich and completely organic forest honey. I carefully hold the cut section with one hand while keeping my balance with the other. Working with one hand while suspended over 100 feet in the air is an art form. The wax is slippery, and the honey is incredibly sticky. If you lose your grip, the prize will fall to the forest floor and be lost forever. I carefully place the sliced piece into a large, clean plastic bag. The weight of just this one section is surprising. It must weigh at least 5 or 6 pounds. The honey is so dense and heavy. As I work, the bees are still buzzing all around me. They land on my hands, my arms, and my face. You can feel their tiny claws gripping your skin. It's a test of mental strength. You have to ignore the tickling and the occasional warning pinch. If you panic and swat at them, you will get stung. I move further down the branch to cut the next section of the honey cap. I can see the honeycombs here are fully capped, meaning the bees have sealed the cells with a thin layer of wax. This is the sign of mature, high-quality honey with low moisture content. It won't ferment and can keep for years. Each slice feels like uncovering a hidden treasure. With the honey safely bagged, I now have to pack it into my backpack. This is a highly precarious maneuver. I am sitting astride a branch, holding a bag of heavy, sticky honey, and I have to swing my backpack around, unzip it, and place the bag inside without losing my balance. Every movement must be slow and deliberate. If the plastic bag tears inside the backpack, it will be an absolute disaster, turning all my gear into a sticky mess. I carefully slide the bag into the canvas pack. The added weight immediately pulls at my shoulders, shifting my center of gravity. I have to readjust my body and grip the branch tighter. After carefully packing the first piece of the honeycomb into the bag, I adjust my grip on the branch and continue harvesting the remaining parts of the hive. Shifting my weight along the slippery wood at this height is never easy, especially with a large number of giant honeybees still blanketed over the comb. I gently wave a bit more smoke from the bundle to nudge the most stubborn bees away from the next section of the honey cap. My sharp knife goes to work again, making precise horizontal cuts, slicing through the wax to retrieve the purest blocks of liquid gold while leaving the brood beneath completely untouched. One by one, the remaining honey sections are harvested. Heavy, rich, and abundant, promising an incredibly rewarding harvest for today's grueling climb. now comes the final phase, the climb down. Many people think going up is the hardest part, but descending a giant tree is actually much more taxing on your muscles and joints. Your legs are already tired from standing on narrow steel pegs, and you have to look down to find each footing, which forces you to constantly confront the height. Plus, I now have the extra weight of the honey pulling me down. I slowly and carefully make my way back to the main trunk, step by step, peg by peg. My knees are shaking slightly, but I keep my focus sharp. Finally, my feet touch the soft, damp earth of the forest floor. The relief is indescribable. I take off my gloves, sit down on a log, and open the backpack to inspect the harvest. Looking at this beautiful, golden wild honey, I feel incredibly grateful. It's not just about the sweetness of the honey. It's about the journey, the physical challenge, and the deep connection to these ancient forests. Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure today. If you enjoyed this glimpse into the traditional wild honey harvests of Vietnam, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Until next time, stay safe and keep exploring. Bye-bye.